hard out here for a pimp, so hit that subscribe button, man. Today I got something interesting to show y'all. Man 420, I'm here with another report. You know what I'm saying? Tune in, listen up, because there's a real life event going on. It was posted at 4:20 a.m. That's real talk. This article spoke to me indirectly and directly. Now feel the pain. Listen up, right? It's coming straight from the government. Government issues, man. It affects me and my family, if you don't know. Federal contracts for more than 1,000 government-funded properties that have low-income renters have already expired, okay? As a result of the government shutdown, which could delay critical repairs and place poor families at risk for eviction, advocates and landlords say. Alright, this is posted January 8th, 2019, 4:20 a.m. I'm going to continue to read, though. About what, and this coming from NBC News, by the way. Sorry, my handage. About 1,150 contracts with private landlords have expired since the shutdown began on December 22nd, according to Jerron Brown, a spokesman for the Department of Housing and Urban Development that represents about 5% of all contracts for a federal Section 8 program known as Project-Based Rental Assistance, which subsidizes rent and utilities for 1.2 million low-income families, including many who are elderly and disabled. I gotta scroll down. Hold on. About 500 more contracts will expire in January and 550 in February if the shutdown continues, HUD said in a statement. HUD has told the landlords participating in the Section 8 program that they can use their reserves where available to cover any shortfalls, said Brown. He said that most of the properties have cash reserves on hand, which are typically required by mortgage lenders. Historically, HUD has reimbursed owners following a shutdown and never experienced evictions. That's alright, I guess. I don't know. Brown said while 95% of the HUD employees have begun furlough, those those still on the job are looking, I ain't read this, I'm sorry. Those still on the job are looking at all accounts funding to reinstate those contracts that don't exist now, he added. I'm sorry, I'm kind of getting like shocked. The development first reported by the Washington Post, yeah, I'm reading this like for the first time with y'all. It came across my phone. The development first reported by the Washington Post came as a surprise to some housing advocates and landlords who were expecting that HUD would renew all the contracts and continue payments despite the shutdown. It's a mess, said Aaron Hoffman, Federal Policy Director for the National Housing Trust, an advocacy group for affordable housing that owns Section 8 properties, who said that HUD had previously assured her organization that the contracts for December and those going into January would be renewed. The pain is coming a lot earlier than we thought. If landlords had limited reserves or they are squeezed by a continuing shutdown, they could be pushed to delay critical repairs, seek additional financing, raise rents, and ultimately evict tenants, Hoffman said. Hoffman added that HUD should have anticipated the problem and allocated the funds for the contracts scheduled to expire before the government shutdown began. It's confusing to me why HUD wouldn't have prioritized that and assigned staff to make this wouldn't happen. She said it's a huge number of contracts and properties and residents. HUD did not respond to questions about how many families were affected by the expiring contracts or why the administration did not renew the contracts before they expired. Brown, the HUD spokesman, said that all landlords with unexpired Section 8 contracts could continue to receive payments during January and February. But Melissa Steele, who runs the Affordable Housing Real Estate Company in the Washington area, has already run into problems with a contract that's not scheduled to expire until February. Her company, the ENG Group, who supposedly to receive a HUD payment on January 2nd for a property in Rockville, Maryland, that houses about 120 low-income senior citizens, but it never arrived. I checked the account several times a day and it's not there, she said. Her colleague tried to contact HUD about the missing payment and got an auto reply instead because employees who typically answered questions have been furloughed, Steele said. Steele said her tenants won't be at risk for eviction, but her company has reserves and access to financing. But she said that most affordable housing projects only have a thin cushion of funds that are meant to cover emergency, like a collapsed roof or a broken boiler. It's such a little cash flow, she said. HUD failed to renew contracts during the previous government shutdown as well. My recollection is that they're never prepared, said Mont Stanford, former chief and staff of Massachusetts Housing Finance. This is crazy, man. If this goes into February 1st, landlords will start to go berserk, she said. The A2 have bills to pay. And this article came from NBCnews.com. Type in, this is what you gotta type in. Because the shutdown, more than 1,000 affordable housing contracts have expired. Type that in, it'll bring you right to it. Figured it was interesting because it affects me and my family. I'm low income, you feel me? Section 8 type stuff. Birdman 420, signing out. Stay safe up there. Keep your head up.